to speak with us, and we believe that we can learn from each other, and we all have stories. So how did you get started in real estate investing?
So it's interesting. So let me take a step back.
Sure.
Before I go to real estate, it's important to know how I started. So, right. So I came to Canada in 2011, and in 2012, late 2012, I came across. So I was settling down. I had two kids, 7 and 8.
Okay.
I was looking for job and all this. My wife was looking for job in 2011. By 2012 late, we kind of settled down. We got the jobs. We bought our first house after 3 months of entering Canada.
Neat.
Yeah, and we were lucky that time. um, and in 2012, I remember in December, I was doing something around 10 p.m. when I came across this uh, book, which is Rockstar Real Estate's How to Invest in Real Estate. And
Okay. All
I
right.
still remember that I started reading it and finished by 3 a.m. in the morning.
So you picked up a book at 10 o'clock and you got hooked on it and you're reading it till 3 in the morning. That
Right.
sounds like a good book.
Yeah, absolutely. And it opened my eyes. I thought it's too good to be true to invest with that little money in real estate, and there is so much potential. Um, so I called. I'm in Burlington, so
Mhm.
not too far from Rockstar office, the old Rockstar office back then.
Yeah.
And I jumped on the call and I set up everything, the membership and all this stuff. Started looking around properties. In the next few months, I bought two properties in Hamilton
Neat.
with very little initial investment, 5%. So it good old days back
Yes.
then. So yeah, and since then I bought multiple properties, sold, and in a nutshell, I can say I made a couple of $1 million with Rockstar Real Estates.
And this is just picking up one book. And where
Just
did you
one.
find this book? Like, who gave you the book? How did it end
Oh,
up there?
it was online, so I didn't buy the hard copy. It was online.
Oh,
I started reading the PDF, kept on reading. I said, no, there must be catch by in next 10 pages, next 10
yeah.
pages.
Yeah.
So there was no catch. So I thought,
And what do you remember from the book, or what kept you, you know, reading till 3 in the morning? What was it? Was it the hope? Was it the possibilities?
yeah, so a couple of things. So one, I'm numbers guy. So my mathematics background in financial mathematics,
Yep.
masters. The second thing was when I was a couple of years in Canada, I realized I haven't saved anything for my kids.
Mm.
No RESP, and they were almost 10 years old. I thought I should invest. I should buy a house if I get equity of 50, 70K, I'm good enough. That's good enough for kids. So let's buy a couple of them, one for one kid's education, the other for other kids' education. But the craziness of 2017, 2019, 2020.
It's worked in your favor, you're saying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
uh
was
so
great
so how,
success
so
story.
you've been a Rockstar member since 2011,
2012, yeah, for sure.
2012.
Yeah.
And so what's that membership cost?
I believe back then it was either 39 or 45, something like that.
Okay. And was it worth it?
It was, no doubt, it was 1,000 times worth.
Without a doubt. So
Yeah,
you're saying was it $40? That investment in itself paid itself off
yeah,
multiple times.
absolutely. retirement, no issues, no worries about retirement. I'm so well solid financial grounding now. So
Nice. That's good
yeah.
to hear. So perhaps we can learn from your experience,
Hmm.
those arriving, because there's so many, there's still a lot of people who are arriving.
Hmm.
Um, what can you tell them to keep going, to persist? Because we're seeing people arrive, a lot of people, a lot of immigrants arriving, and they're not in a, they're struggling.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what do you suggest for them?
Couple of things. Canada is a great country, so
Yep.
many opportunities. People sometimes they keep on focusing on negative stuff in the
Mm,
online, social media, all this stuff. Keep on learning new things. And there are so many opportunities. Keep open to all the opportunities and save money because that's the key. You save money, you invest that money. People keep on spending money or they don't save. I think the more frugal way you will live in the early years of
mhm.
your life, the better it is for everyone in the family, for yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's something I'm sure you've heard. Wealth is what you save. Being rich is what you spend. And if you're looking
Right,
to create wealth,
right.
living beyond your means or spending all you have is not really the wealthy way. Maybe the
Yeah,
rich way sounds on TV. So,
right.
what else would you like to tell people just who are just starting off?
Um, I think there are still pockets that people can focus on, like Kingston.
Yep.
I wasn't aware of, to be honest. I watched your couple of videos, read your articles and email follow-ups. I think there is still opportunity for positive cash flow, which is the key message of real estate group all the time. You need to have positive cash flow. The other thing, real estate is, I think, student rentals is something which is far less headache, but it's seen as more headache
It
by
does. It does.
a
Yeah, it
lot of
has a
people.
bad rap. It has a
Yeah,
very negative rap. But
right.
I started off as with investing in student rentals, and
Hmm.
then we grew, duplex, multiplex, and then now we're going back to student rentals just because it makes sense. We're not having issues with the students as much as non-students.
Right.
It's just finding the right lender and the right insurance company. But yeah, I think student rentals are way overlooked.
Yeah, and especially if you get a bad tenant by chance and
It's gonna
compared,
happen.
right? So from that standpoint, student rentals are so good. You have no issues, no landlord-tenant board issues.
Guess how many times I've been to the landlord tenant board with a student? Never. Out of the
Never.
15, 20 years, never have I gone to,
Right.
but with non-students, it's a bit more
It's
common.
crazy. Yeah. I've heard stories people lost thousands of dollars. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
no one wins when you go to the landlord tenant board. It's not a
Right.
win-win situation. It's always a loss, 10 to 15 easily.
Yeah.
So what else, how has your life changed thanks to real estate?
Um, to be honest, building wealth is such a peace to your mind. It's because even if you are hand to mouth on daily basis, you know you have something for your potential bad days.
Yeah.
So it's that feeling all the time. It's such a great feeling that you're wealthy and there is something for rainy days. So confidence boosts so much um, with that kind of feeling.
Yeah, I've heard of. I'm sure you met people that their baseline is real estate, and then they could venture on to projects or work that may pay a bit less initially, but they've got that buffer of expenses paid through real estate in a way, and then they could venture into something more interesting or something that they've always wanted to pursue.
Mhm.
I think that's also very, very valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, there are few different things which I would have never bought because I know there is solid foundation built. So my car and a few other things which I know there is peace of mind that okay, it's okay, I can do it. But without these investments, I would have at a very different place. Although my wife and I, we are earning decently, but still, in these expensive times, it's such a peace of mind. Uh,
Mhm. Now,
mm,
you mentioned about your young children when you first arrived.
mhm.
What did you teach them or show them through example, how to live properly or how to invest properly or how to build wealth?
So both my son and daughter, they are in university now, second and third year.
Congratulations.
One thing, thanks. One thing which they follow exactly how I lived my life so far
Hmm.
is not spending too much. Spending is not a good habit, which they
Yes.
are really good at. So I'm happy about that. The other thing is my son, whose elder daughter is younger. He has keen interest in real estate, so he's saving up his money from his part-time job. So he says, "Dad, where should I invest? In Ontario, in Florida, and all this." So
Hmm.
he has interest. They have
So
learned
his
about
mind
it.
is starting. He's looking around. That's very
Yeah,
exciting. It's very, very exciting.
yeah.
So
So
what
it's
what what have you told him?
So I said his bank balance is it's not up to the mark yet. I said wait at least a year. Then there, if situation doesn't change in Florida, then you can go in Florida. And he's definitely keen on buying something now and maybe down the line in next 10 years when he's ready for his own, then um, not sure, but
Mhm.
that's is his plan to invest now.
That's awesome. So okay, and you also you keep on working. Like even though you've done well, you
Right.
keep on working. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
and you work currently as like what is it?
I'm
How is
in
it you help others?
right. So to be honest, I helped quite a few people in my circle about real estate, how to invest, and all this. Few of them are real rock star members as well. Um, so I kept on working because I think your whatever you bring in as cash flow every month, that's the key for your success.
Mhm.
So although I have a decent portfolio of properties, but your key um, income is your you can live well, and I'm not too old to retire at the moment, so um, so I I help in different ways. I have few multiple um, donations to different charities. At least if I count, at least five of them.
Oh,
And
neat. So what charities do you enjoy giving to?
so one is our Burlington Hospital, then Food Bank, then there is an organization in Africa which is for female health, and there is one in India which is for animal. They get animals from streets and they
Yeah.
treat them and all this. There is one more. This is something I am a bit on spiritual side as well. So it's
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah. So they help people. This organization, they help um, building an organization where they teach people how to be spiritual. So
So this I like this subject of giving because a lot of people um giving donations is not a big strong thing. So what is it what is it you enjoy about donating or giving capital or funds that why do you do it?
I think so. Couple of examples. The food bank and hospital, they are local things. So food bank in Burlington, hospital in Burlington. When I look at our hospitals, they are so expensive. Um, um, I mean, we are not huge economies, local. Uh,
Yep.
so our hospitals, they need donations from people who can afford, right? So I think the kind of treatments we receive from our hospital, it's world class, but
It is.
still we're not huge. So local people, their contribution makes huge difference. Same thing for food bank. I was
Mhm.
discussing yesterday with one of my colleagues that she works at food bank in a different city, and she said, what we are experiencing is people, the donations are not enough. And I,
Really.
yeah, and I started thinking that I started these monthly donations few years ago, and I haven't increased, although the dollar value has decreased in the last few years. You can
Mhm.
buy little with a dollar. So I said, yes, I think I need to review what I'm paying, and I should increase my donation because things have changed in the past. So I think these are some of the foundational organizations which need people's help, local help.
Mhm. And so the one question is would be why do you do it? What do you get out of donating?
It's the feeling, first of all, that um, if you have enough, then you should
Mm,
contribute to people who need.
of course.
Uh, and second is the feeling that you get out of gratitude and that you have done something good for society.
That's huge, my friend. That is huge. That is a very element, a huge element of happiness is to give and to be grateful for what you
Right.
have, and that's quite amazing. Where did you learn this practice of gratitude of giving?
It's from that organization which is spiritually active. So giving not just financially, but anything that you can give back to society. So planting trees and bunch
Hmm.
of other things that you can do. I think that came from it was in my upbringing as well. I would say
Yep.
my parents. So it was always there, but
Mhm.
part of that organization is where I it became strong.
I like how you point out that it's not always doesn't always have to be money. It could also be your time.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, so your time for those listening in, going, well, I don't have the time, I don't have the money as of yet. Things are a bit tight, but the time to simply donate is
Right.
also as just as valuable.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And volunteering is something I've been doing for quite some time. And I recently went to US for this organization, and I spent 2 days of volunteering there. So giving time, my kids have been doing for their own
Hmm.
first their schools, then they know this stuff. So it's a kind of inbuilt. Uh,
Embedded in them. Yes,
right.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so what can you tell people who haven't started donating?
I think it's the key. It doesn't. Um, it seems like we are spending money on something, we don't get out of something out of it.
Yep.
But it's not that somebody becomes poor by giving few extra dollars
Yeah.
uh, to the
Yeah.
needy people. So you never it. What I've seen and what I've been read and told is, the more you give, the more you get. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
and it's
Like
the
a
karma,
law of the universe of some sort.
right? Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's the case, but I've been getting so much than what I'm giving. So,
Yeah, that's great. That's great because of the abundance. That reminds me. Um, just last year, my daughter and I, the scooter got stolen,
ah,
and she was devastated. Like because we used the scooter to get to her swimming practice, and
right.
once we left, it was gone, and she was devastated. And I said, "Listen, we've been given abundance,
Yeah,
and when we have abundance, it is our job to give."
right.
That month, I might not have given enough, so they take.
Right.
So they just
Right.
took.
Yeah,
And she says, "But you've given up." I said, "Well, maybe not enough because this month they just took."
right. That's so good. I was reading something and I came across this, that you think you are doing all this stuff, but you are kind of puppet. Everything is planned for you. You just
Mm,
keep on doing, and things will be right. But don't think that I am doing, or I can do this and I can do that. You're just a puppet. So from your example, I think the way you change that situation of regret and all this to a
yes.
positive way, it's awesome. So you have
How
yeah,
else do you explain it to a 12-year-old
right, yeah.
that all of a sudden that's it? Someone just viciously stole, and I don't think that's always the case. People have reasons for doing it, and this is how sometimes people live.
Mm, right, yeah.
So yeah,
Mhm.
well, what else can be taught to the next generation on wealth?
I think for younger generations,
Hmm.
the early you start saving and investing, the better it is. Not just real estate or whatever way you can invest, stocks, Bitcoin, whatever. Keep on investing. Don't spend too much. That's the key to success.
That makes sense, yeah, because regardless of how much they own, if they just pick up the practice, the habit of
Right.
saving and then utilizing some of it to invest, some of it to donate,
Right.
it could be $100, but if you're even talking about $100,000, it's the
Right.
same habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Neat, neat.
Mhm.
Are you going to the Rockstar event?
Yes, I will.
I definitely will be there as well. I definitely,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
I look forward to it. It's always a
Sure.
good group of people
Right.
that makes a big difference. And
Mhm.
I find those I surround myself with, it
Mhm.
is very important because I get influenced by their mindset, their way of thinking, and I feel better off for it. How do you instill those habits onto for children?
So quite a few, like you said, keep surrounded yourself by like-minded people. So
Very important.
yeah, this was the key message for my kids when they were growing up. They're doing pretty well in their universities. Is in maths, the other is in accounting. So their friends are from good backgrounds, and they are both of them are working. They're white collar part-time jobs. So
Okay.
it was. I always taught kids to be with people you can learn more from, you can help, and you can get benefits from. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's the key message.
Yeah, yeah, because every relationship I find you're either learning from them, you're
Right.
you're raising yourself,
Hmm.
or it's detrimental and you're going down with them. So it's important to surround yourself with like-minded individuals that are going stronger and towards the light rather than towards darkness, to put the
Right.
analogy into it. That
Right.
sounds great. So
Exactly.
so so what else do you look forward to these events, the Rockstar events? Like
Oh,
you've been going for what, past 10 years? More like how long you
yeah.
been going to these events?
Yes, I believe more than 10 years now.
Okay, so what keeps
Yeah.
you going every year, year after year?
There is always so much information. There is different ways of being wealthy, being smart,
Mhm.
and so I think, especially, I learned Bitcoin investing, crypto, all this stuff. I invested heavily that side as well. That I learned from Rockstar. Um, but yeah, it's more of connections and the feeling you get once you are in that company of like-minded people. You keep learning on how you deal with the tenants, how you deal with. I still remember my first call to my Rockstar coach.
Yeah.
Oh, my furnace isn't working. He said, I I still remember his reply. He said, "Welcome to being a landlord.
He said, "Welcome to what?"
Welcome to the landlordship."
Yes, that's it's
So,
not something no one talks about, but yeah, that's bound to happen.
right, yeah. So yeah, it's being smarter every single day, learning more stuff from smarter people. Um, in- this is something, and it's so convenient for me. It's just next
You're
town,
you're not far. Yeah, I've got
right?
to drive 4 hours for it, get a book a hotel, 2 nights. Yeah, but it's definitely worth it. I like the Rockstar events, your life, your terms.
Yeah.
There's always some great speakers, and there was just what, at least what, two, like 1,000, over 1,000 people in the room.
Yeah, I remember when I started it, not more than two or 300 people.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, yeah, it has grown so much.
So you
You
must
know,
know a lot of people in the events.
yeah, yeah. And I've seen some people from the US as well. So
Hmm.
um, across the border, met a couple of people couple of years ago. So it's uh,
Okay.
it's becoming bigger.
And do you invest in the States as well?
This is something I always wanted for last at least, if not more, but at least 5, 6 years. I think I missed that boat at that time, especially in Florida, when even Rockstar wasn't in Florida. So um, I had few newsletters coming from Florida, and I always wanted, but one thing which is too much headache into being way too far.
Hmm.
Something always stopped me. Then I explored Detroit as well. That
Okay.
was 2018, 2019. But the misinformation I got from the people I followed, um, it just discouraged me not to go too far. Um,
Okay.
because there is accounting side, there is so much other more stuff, and with the full-time job, and my wife doesn't have any interest in real estate, so I have to manage everything by myself.
That's common. It's pretty common. I've heard this before. Yes.
So that discouraged me, but I always wanted, but no.
So where do you see the opportunities coming up now? Because it's a very changing economy. There's a lot of uncertainties. There's still opportunities, but where do you see the opportunities? Where do you see?
I think Florida has still some pockets, and some people have misconception that some areas like Tampa, because of all these hurricanes and natural disasters every year,
Hmm.
I was reading an article yesterday, and they said they have. I mean, this is an organization like real estate, Rockstar Real Estate. They have few hundred properties to manage, and there was no big um, issue after this recent hurricane.
Okay.
I think there are some misconceptions which are people like me who are overthinking of not investing. Um,
Hmm.
but once you are into that flow, then it's easier to invest and manage properties across the border.
Yeah, yeah. The right team and the right knowledge makes a huge difference because I mean, the States is a huge country and there's pockets of opportunities, but yeah, the right individuals, it makes a big difference.
Right.
So, okay. And what to this Rockstar event again?
Mhm.
Um, for those not going, how would you entice people to go?
I think events like these, where you have a wealth of knowledge,
Hmm.
especially from experience of Nick and Tom and their connections and their guests, they bring so much value that reading something online, you'll never get insights like those
Hmm.
and connections, especially if you are kind of into joint ventures and all this stuff. The kind of connections you get on the spot, it's so quick, spontaneous. It pays you over the years multiple times of the money and time invested
True,
in this.
true, definitely. Oh yeah, I think people underestimate the cost and what it can bring out, especially for those taking action. It's not only
Right,
the knowledge of it, but once you implement that,
right.
the possibilities are endless. And so it's a really great opportunity.
I remember to your point, you said take action. I remember when I bought first two properties, I was so new to Canada. I didn't even know how furnace works, how
Okay.
how the AC works,
Okay.
how you deal with tenants, because what are the tenant expectations? So I remember I was kind of very scared when I invested a couple of properties at the same time. So bought two of them same time, and I had no knowledge. But taking action is such a key that
Huge.
once I bought those, then I bought other ones. So it kept on going. Just for the first step is such a big.
Yeah,
Uh,
because a lot of people love learning and mingling with everybody and the mindset, but we really learn and we really benefit from all that knowledge through taking action. So the key, that's definitely the key. So
right.
what would you suggest for those holding on or on the sidelines or those who are over analyzing certain deals or properties? What do you suggest for these people?
If the numbers work, I think just jump into it and you'll learn from doing stuff. The experience you'll get, the knowledge you'll have, how to do it, what to do it. Even if things don't go in your way, you'll have so much to learn that that knowledge you can use for other
Hmm.
stuff. So don't think, just jump on the
Yeah.
jump on the boat.
I was talking to some other investor. He was a seasoned investor, and really he shared one of his big experiences. I think where he made no money on it because it was a lesson that he's like it didn't make any sense. Initially, it made sense, but he didn't realize that he didn't do a phase one, phase two on the building, and there was oil leak in the basement, and he couldn't actually finance it at all. Um, but he had kept it for such a long time, and then the VTB ran out and all that. But he said, what I learned from that, he said, I made no money on it, But what I learned from that experience has paid for itself down the road.
Yeah.
So for those, I'm telling people this because for those who are fearful of taking action because of fear of failure or something, there's going to be successes, but there's going to be some lessons along the way as well. So I think
Right.
that's very important, very, very
Right.
important.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember the first property I bought. It was rent to own,
Okay.
and I bought it in 2013, and the guy was ready to buy in 2016, and although I I sold that property out of contract because he didn't have money by
Mhm.
the time he was supposed to buy,
Yep.
and the contract expired. And after a few months, he said, "Now I'm ready." So I was so people started giving me different views. Oh, there is no contract. You shouldn't. You should not. You are not supposed to honor the contract if you don't want to. But I sold that property as in the contract, the price and everything. Uh, Although I made little money, I still remember it was 25K that time. But it was such a big help. We renovated our basement with that 25K back then.
Hmm.
So uh, the first step, I mean, you learn a lot of things on the way. If you don't even make a lot of money, but still that knowledge you have gained, and it makes a huge difference. The other thing which I have seen, the message to investors or to people, is be little bit put yourself into your tenant's shoes and
Oh, yes,
be
yes.
kind to people because they are not as fortunate as you are.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's not always black and white. It's always not just laws and papers, contracts
Yes,
you need to honor.
I
Sometimes
agree. I
it's
agree.
human
Yep.
to human
Yeah,
thing.
human. I know a lot of investors who give during Christmas time, they'll give a little certificate, a coupon of, or they give a gift certificate to their tenants. I think that makes it's a
Right,
small gesture, but it goes a long way.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
would definitely say more of that should happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, where can people find you? I mean, I know where you're going to be next this coming weekend at the Your Life, Your Event, Your
Right.
Terms, Your Life event, Rockstar event.
Mhm.
Where can people find you if they have any questions to ask you, or they're just looking for some guidance? Because it seems as if you have some experience as an investor and you've done well, and with all the new immigrants coming in, they would find guidance and inspiration from hearing your story.
Mhm. You can search my name, and it's all over the place. Not that I'm famous, but I'm I'm on social media. I can be found on any of